Hi, this is Donovan with DrumSoft, and this video is going to cover navigation menus. So you'll notice on the left-hand side that every area that you click into, or even a custom application you go to, will have the left-hand navigators available to you. These are completely configurable in the platform. So we provide some out of the box in our service management application, but if you need to change them, you need to add some of your own, or if you're building a custom app, you're going to want to add some left-hand navigators. So in order to do that, go down to your bundle configuration gears, UI and styling, and then down to navigation menu. So you'll see a variety of navigation menus, and you can see that there are a specific type for them. The default one, of course, is the home, and then the rest of them are aligned to an area. For those that don't know, an area are basic groupings of buckets, workflow, and actually navigation menus inside of an application. So it's a way you can kind of segregate certain things inside of an application. To the end user, an area does not differ that much from a custom app. So it appears as an icon on the left-hand side. They can go through, click on it, they'll get a different navigation. But if you were to have a custom application in this space, then it would appear just like an area. We'll take a look at our Itsm Navigator. And once we look at that, you can see the different types we have. So there's a separator, which is simply there to separate things, as the name would imply. A list, and you can drag these over. A list just basically takes you to a list of records. So this is, if I wanted to go to closed incidents, I could create a new one called closed incidents, set it to the bucket you want, pick an icon. Let's expand that, see if we've got anything for closed captioning, that'll work. And then you can put a condition in there, and you can say, okay, actually I want all incidents, or excuse me, status on my incidents that is closed. Now that will be my closed incidents list. So you can do that with any list, and it will basically take you to a list of records. The second is URL. So this can be external, or it can be internal as well. So if this was just a something simple like home, you could just put home in there, put an icon in for home, and then any page you can just type in the name. So if it's internal to DrumSoft, you can type in the name. If it's external, of course, you need the full URL with HTTPS:// etc. But this allows you also to create possible navigators to external applications, external portals if necessary. Keep in mind that you can create your own pages just by simply typing in a new name of that page at the end of the URL. And I'll show you that after we're done here. And then the big one is flow. So if you've built any workflow in DrumSoft, you'll notice that as soon as I drag the flow over here, we have the workflow editor. This is really powerful because you no longer have to have a workflow fire off in the context of a record. You can just have a workflow fire off just by clicking a button. So if you wanted to, pop up a forum dialog and get a few questions answered, question 1, make it a string. Question 2, maybe make that a choice box. Value 3. Now you can populate those in there, gather that information, and this is just like workflow anywhere else in the DrumSoft platform. So now you can utilize those variables that I just collected here and then populate them throughout the workflow. So if I needed to navigate to a URL based on that, or if I want to do a quick run script, and maybe one of those values goes into one table, one of those values goes into another table, I could put that in there using some very basic JavaScript, and I'd be able to insert 2 separate records just by asking 2 separate questions from an end user. And then of course you can put an icon in. I'll just grab any icon and say start flow and save that. So those are the 3 basic options of as far as the Navigator menus themselves. If you want to make this a top level menu, or you could also make it a menu that slides across. So by toggling this top level menu switch, it allows you to have, as I displayed in this ITSM, actually I'll go ahead and save this. And I'll head over to the ITSM. And now you can see, instead of having all my menus when I go to my ITSM area, I actually click on it and then it slides over. So if you're getting a lot of menu items in one menu, it may behoove you to make that not a top level menu and organize them in lower menus and then have it slide over. So those are the main options. We touched on areas a little bit. Like I said, you can go to a list, you can start a workflow, you have separators, you can go to a URL, and if you wanted to create your own custom page, I said I would show this. So this is how you create a new page. You just type any name of that page at the end. And if it doesn't exist, almost like a wiki, you can create that page. And then you can start to drag in any of the components. And I'll have another video on creating pages and components later on. But that just shows you that once you have this new page created, you can then go directly to that. And all you have to do is type in the name of that page, like here, new page, in the URL section of the Navigator, and that will take you to that. So that's simple menu options. Like I said, it ties into the rest of the platform, so look for other videos on UI, pages, and components. Thank you very much.